everyone! So it's time to do another science experiment, and it's going to tie in with what we're talking about this week, which is colors. So this science experiment is super easy, but we're going to tie in two types of learning. We're obviously going to talk about science, but we're also going to incorporate math into this. So are you ready? Let's get started. You only need a couple ingredients for this. You need Skittles or M&Ms also work. You're going to need a plate with a rim so it will hold your Skittles in place. And you're also going to need some water, which I put in this. Warm water or hot water is going to work best. But let's start with setting up our experiment. So I'm going to tip this down and show you what we're doing. We're going to be talking about patterns today. That's going to be the math portion of our science experiment. So for our patterns, you can see I started two patterns. On this side, I have an A-B pattern, which has two colors, orange and green, and they're alternating, which means that you take one color and then you do the next color, and you repeat that pattern until you're all done. So my A-B pattern is green, orange, green, orange, green, orange. Do you see how I alternate or switch colors? The other pattern that I have is an ABC pattern. So that one changes 3 times with 3 colors. And that's on this side of my plate. And this goes red, purple, yellow. Then I start over. Red, purple, yellow. And I will continue those 3 colors in that order until I'm all done as well. So you're going to help me finish my patterns. I started them, but we need to have a full circle going around the outside of this plate. So I'm going to start with my AB pattern, which is my orange and my green. I left off on an orange. So I know if I'm only working with 2 colors, the next color needs to be a green. And I am going to continue to say this pattern over and over as I add Skittles to it. So I added my green. Now it's time for orange, green, orange. Oops, they're rolling away on me. Green, orange. What comes next? Green, orange. Green, orange. Next one. And the next one. Nice job. I'm going to stop there so I can do this one too, and we can continue to add on my ABC pattern. So my ABC pattern is red, purple, yellow. Red, purple, yellow. I'm going to continue that the whole way through until I reach down here where I can't add any more Skittles. But I'm going to end on this yellow right here, so I need to figure out what's next. So I can always come back up to the top and look at my core part of my pattern. The first part is red, purple, yellow. That is my repeating part, those 3. So if I look, after my yellow, I started again. So since I have a yellow here, I can look here and see that the next color is a red. So I know the next color down here needs to be red as well. When I find my red, it then goes to purple. And then I'm back to yellow. So I'm going to repeat that over and over. Red, purple, yellow. Can you tell me what comes next? Red, purple, yellow. I have room for one more, so I'm going to put one more red. It's okay if I don't finish my pattern, but I have a complete circle. It goes around the whole outside rim of my plate. So my next part is I need to get rid of my extra Skittles. because I don't need them in the front. That is where the water is going to go, in the middle, I mean. Okay. So now that we've made our pattern, the last step is to add water. So it says that warm water works best. So I have in my microwave a cup of water that I'm going to turn on for a little bit, so it's going to warm up, so then we can do the next part of this experiment. So while I go do that, I'm going to explain to you what I need you to do. All right, so the next part of this is the science part, which the color changing is gonna be the science part. But I want you to make a hypothesis or a guess. We've talked about this before. I want you to guess what will happen to these Skittles when they touch warm water. What's gonna happen? You're gonna make a guess, and you can tell me what your guess is before you try it. Do you think if everybody does the same activity, that the same thing is going to happen to theirs that it did to yours? Do you think what happens to your Skittles is going to happen to my Skittles? That can also be included in your hypothesis or your guess. So I'm going to go check my water while you're making your guess. Write it down so then we can test it, which I'm going to test because my timer's going off. And then we'll see if your hypothesis was right or not. And it's okay if your hypothesis is not right. Good scientists don't always have the right answer or the right hypothesis. They have to test it out to figure it out to find the right answer. Hold on, friends. All right, so I warmed up water in a coffee mug, okay? Now, I am going to pour it in the center of my plate. What was your hypothesis? What do you think is going to happen? All right, let's see. Gently, I'm going to pour. Do you see that? Look over here. Look at the rim. How cool is that? The water is pulling out some of our color off of the Skittles, and it is pulling it to the center in over here. Now, my friends, it's very important that you do not move the plate when you're doing this experiment, because if I was to move it, it's going to shift it and it might not show you the colors like it's showing on mine. And this small circle in the middle is getting smaller and smaller till it is almost all gone. Look how bright these colors are. And look at this pattern. If you look closely, do you see that the color on the bottom of the Skittles is completely gone and it's starting to take off some of the top where the water is reaching it? That is so cool. I'm going to pick up one and I want to show you the bottom of the Skittle. So this was a red Skittle. See the other side? Red. But if I show you this, this is where the water all came off. How cool is that? If you try this at home, tell me what type of pattern you did. And if what happened to my experiment, if it did the same thing to yours. Have fun, friends. Bye.